We're gonna cook this whole bird with no oil. So we get the pan really, really, really hot. I have the heat all the way up for about already 7 minutes. In about a minute or so, I'm gonna add a little bit of hot water. And that's how we're cooking it with no oil. Just a drop, a little bit. We're not touching the chicken. We're gonna let it cook. Get it a little crisp up before we try to flip it to the other side, so we don't rip the skin. So what I like to do is I would take 3 or 4 different seasoning spices that I like. You could do whatever you like, whatever you prefer. Take 50% of each spice. Let's say you take 5 tablespoons of each of these spice and put it into this container. Mix it up and you have your own seasoning. I use it for meats. You could do it for fish. It could always be spices of your choice that you like. You could always mix them all up together and have it in the kitchen. So what I'm doing is I have the heat up high all the way. I have an electric stove here. If you have gas, you might want to do 3/4, not all the way high. The way I control this chicken not to be burning and cooking without oil is under a lid. It steams a little bit. Then I open the lid and I cook it like this for 5 minutes. I close the lid, cook it with the lid for 10 minutes. Why? When I open the lid, I let the water evaporate and it starts to crisp up, cook a little more than just steam. Then when I put the lid back over, it's back to steaming process. So we're controlling the way we cook it. Also, if the water is running out and you see the chicken starts getting stick to the bottom, like here, I flipped it, but I ripped the skin, you could add more water from your teapot. You see the other side, I have a little bit of water going here, and it's cooking. I'm gonna cover it back with this. But first, I'm ready for some seasoning. Remember that I made myself a little seasoning here? So we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of seasoning in there. Just like that. I, of course, love this seasoning right here. And so what I did was I opened 3 of these little packs and I added them in here. And then I added a little bit of water after I added seasoning. On top of the chicken, I added water right over the chicken, let it drip down, and continue cooking. So what do we do with the onions for this chicken? We quartered the onion. We cut it in half, and then in half the half. That's how we cut it. I'm just gonna drop the onion on the side of the chicken. On the side of the chicken, okay? All around the chicken. All around the chicken. What are we going to do now? We're going to go ahead and flip it, just like that. Flip it. Flip the chicken and it looks beautiful. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of more seasoning. Just like that. Our potatoes are ready to go in. Okay, we quartered them. Potatoes going in. Just like that. Here I have chicken thighs. Chicken thighs on the bone. Chicken thighs on the bone. So what I do with them is I'm gonna marinate them right now, and I'm gonna throw them on the grill, charcoal grill. You could have gas grill, charcoal grill. You could marinate these guys and then cook them like steaks. But these are on the bone. You could have chicken thighs with no bone. The ones that are on the bone will cook longer. You gotta make sure where the bone is. It's never raw when you take it off the grill, so it's not pink, bloody inside, so it's fully cooked. All right. So for this chicken, I have onion cut. We're gonna start off with the onion. Same thing, I prepared myself some seasonings earlier, remember guys? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this seasoning and I'm gonna drizzle it on top of the chicken. I'd say like 2-3 pinches. 1-2 pinches and the third one. Okay, now Sazan seasoning, I have 2 little packs I opened. I don't think I'm gonna use 2, I'm gonna go with 1 first. Then I'm gonna stir everything, I'm gonna see the mixture color. I will see if I need another one of these. Well, right now I could tell you I will need another one because I have about 3 pounds of chicken thighs here. So we're gonna put 2 of these. And then we're gonna give it a good stir. Okay? Okay, so now our chicken is ready, marinated. This is the cooking day without oils. So we're having a session how we cook without oils. Usually I would add oil into this marinade. Usually I would cook the whole bird in oil also. But today we're cooking everything without oil involved. Now that we have our chicken more than halfway cooked, now that we have the onion and the potato is almost cooked, only then, when this is almost cooked, like this, only then we're gonna add some of this tomato basil sauce. We got half a can left here. We could add a little more water. First, we're gonna add water into this can. We're gonna mix it all up, get the rest of the tomato out of there, and we're gonna make it more liquidy in here, okay? So just like I said, I added a little bit of water. I take the rest of this tomato out, and I'm gonna pour it right on top. Just like that. Just like that. That's it. Cover it back up. This is where you could go from the high heat to medium high. Don't go too low. Medium to medium high heat. Let it slightly boil like this and cook it for 10 more minutes. Then turn it off, let it sit.